Dude, I just jammed out for like 3 minutes. I don't know about you.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something. You cannot play music that good anymore because people are just going to ask us to stop and turn the music back on.
It's possible. It's entirely possible.
Awesome.
Hi, friends. Hi, Mike.
Hey, everybody. So welcome to our Coin Show Hangout. And we have some special guests with us tonight.
We do.
So joining us live will be Isaiah Hageman, the Slab Daddy.
Boom. Slab Daddy in the house.
The host of the Learning to Deal podcast, Justin Irvin.
Justin, hello, sir.
Hello.
We have the ever popular host of the Ancient Coin podcast with Aaron Burke. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Burke.
The boss man's in the house.
This is a story of a lovely lady. So this is one of our friends from Live Coin Q&A. Please welcome Paula Bloom.
Paula, mid-drink. Hello.
Mid-drink. Cheers, everybody.
Hopefully that's just
Coin Show podcast mug. Love
hopefully
you.
It's full of whiskey.
Hey, what she has in it is up to her.
I heard it was 151.
Truth or a lie?
Well,
so, speaking of which, this is how we're going to start our evening. Is we're going to play a little game called Two Truths and a Lie, and each one of us is going to give you two truths and a lie about ourselves, and we're going to see if the people in the chat can figure out which ones are the lies.
Oh my! So this is like really like get to know you type stuff.
I figured it'd be fun, just a simple little get to know us exercise. And since I'm the one that came up with this diabolical idea, I will go first.
Go first, please.
So, two truths and a lie. I collect transportation tokens. I have small feet. I have never had a passport.
Now, are we required to look away like that every time?
No, I just kind of like the what it brought to the party.
Okay, so the chat has to decide which one of those is the truth.
Well, they can vote, and then after they're all done, then it's like we can.
So one more time, it was you have tiny little Barbie feet.
I have small feet.
Tiny little Barbie feet. Okay.
I have never had a passport.
Never had a passport.
Collect transportation tokens.
Collect transportation tokens. Okay. Very interesting. Yes. Chat seems. Oh, looks like we lost Paula for a second. That's okay. She can come right
she'll
back.
Be back. She really wants to play the game. And in the meantime, while we're waiting on the, we got one answer.
One answer. Passport. Well, okay. Let's
two answers.
Let's get Slab Daddy to go next.
Let's get Slab Daddy to go next.
All right. So I owned an entire Red Book collection. I memorized all of VamWorld during COVID. And I've only been to Matt's shop twice.
So you memorized, okay, one more time. Memorized all of VamWorld.
All of VamWorld during COVID.
Okay.
I've owned the entire Red Book collection, all, 90 some of them.
Okay.
And I've only been to Matt's shop twice.
Hey. Is that Paula calling you, Mike?
Might be.
She should be able to pop right back in with the link that we used. So
she should.
Yep. Okay.
No, I don't see her.
Okay. Well, she's always she'll figure it out here in a second. Looks like she froze up though. Okay. I like it. Let's
go to the boss man next.
Oh, Aaron's up.
Moi?
Yes. Go.
Let's see. I have ridden over 10,000 miles on my bike. And that's a pedal bike, not a motorcycle.
A motorcycle, okay.
I have parachuted out of a plane. I am 6'2".
Ooh. Okay, well, you guys are making this hard because I know all you guys pretty well, and a lot of these answers I'm like,
Okay, so let's see. Justin.
All right. So
I did not. The first one is I did not graduate high school on time. The second is I tried to join the Navy, and the third is I own a sidearm pistol.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I like it. Parachute, they're saying for Aaron.
And
Okay.
6262.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I see that.
Yeah, and they said Vam World also for Isaiah. So it's split with Aaron between 6'2" and the parachute.
Oh, it's
Okay.
6'2".
I'm
kidding. I don't know.
Let's see. Paula, you look like you're deep in thought.
No, I'm writing my answers down.
We'll let Matt go first, and I'll give you a couple more minutes.
Okay.
Let's see. Number 1. I once ate 30 tacos in 15 minutes. I have ridden a camel. And I am very, very, very fond of modern coinage.
You know, that's not right, Matt. That's just not right.
Hey, I'm saying.
Uh,
Well, I heard mine was in a softball on
Our
that one.
last guest, Paula Bloom. So let's learn
Okay.
something about Paula.
Okay. I have 6 grandchildren. I was a medic in the Air Force, or I ate a live spider as a dare.
Ooh.
hmm.
Oh, okay. So now that everybody's getting a chance to vote, let's start at the beginning again. And Mike, you'll go ahead and tell us which one of those was not the truth.
Okay, well, I want the panel to guess us first.
Oh, okay. Go ahead then.
You guys all get to guess which ones of mine was. So I've never had a passport. I collect transportation tokens, or I have small feet.
I'm going with passport. Just
I'd say passport.
I'd have to agree with the passport.
I said small feet.
You know what? I'll just join Paula for fun and say small feet.
okay. What,
Thanks, Justin.
Justin and Paula are correct. What? I've never had a passport.
tiny-footed man.
I have size 12s.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
I got big old stoppers.
I should look down occasionally.
You should.
I thought they were clown shoes.
oh my gosh! All right. So next up was Slab Daddy, right?
Yes.
Slab Daddy.
So Slab Daddies were.
So they were that I owned the entire Red Book collection. I had memorized all of Vam World, and I've only been to Matt Shop twice.
So I'm going to say that the lie is that you own the entire Red Book collection.
I'm going for Vam World.
Man, so am I, because that's tough.
Red Book collection. Because there's
Red
a
Book
couple that
collection.
are only like 1 or 2 ofs.
All right. What do you got? Which one was it?
So I had said that I'd memorized all of Vam World. It was most of it, not all.
Oh, God.
Paula's
She-
like on fire.
She is. You sure she wasn't? She was in the military. Are you sure she wasn't like psyop?
Intel?
Intelligence.
Hell yeah.
Wait, you're giving away one of our answers there.
No, she's an army medic,
No.
I'm sure.
Oh, that's right. No, yeah. Sorry, my fault.
All right. So next one was Aaron.
hmm I said that I've ridden over 10,000 miles on my bicycle. I said that I jumped out of a plane with a parachute, and that I am 6'2".
I know you personally,
Me too.
and I've stood beside you before, and I'm fairly sure you were not 6'2".
That's what I not
I'm-
do.
I made it pretty obvious. I should have went with like 5'9".
Yes. Yeah. It even made me think about it.
I'm
Yeah.
right at 6 foot, so I was pretty certain you were not taller than me.
10,000 miles on a bicycle though, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Like,
That
is.
is an avid bike rider.
now I know
Honestly, when you said you rode, I thought you were going to say I rode a camel. Because I see a picture. He has a picture of him on a camel in front of the pyramids in Giza. It's like
I
it's
do.
amazing.
Now I know what kind of bike it is, but I still think it would be awesome if in those 10,000 miles you had gone over like 6,000 sweet jumps and stuff, like and done wheelies.
No, they were just road. It was just road.
I
Just
know.
road biking.
Yeah, the tires are like this wide.
Yes.
All right, so who's next?
I think it's me.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
Justin.
So I did complete a super senior year in high school. I did not graduate on time.
Okay.
I did try to join the Navy. That did not happen. I actually got kicked out the last day before I shipped out for boot camp, but I do not own a sidearm at this time.
Oh, man.
I knew
I
that.
own a shotgun, but I do not own a sidearm.
Oh.
So you guys knew I at least owned a shotgun because I do some skeeting,
Yeah.
trap shooting.
And you also own another type of
I have 2 shotguns.
yeah, something like that.
Well,
Yeah.
I know that I made mine exceedingly difficult
You
for you
did.
guys, and you know
Because
mine
we
were-
all know how much you love modern coinage.
Well, no, he loves the errors in modern. Does that count?
no.
No, he definitely doesn't like
He
modern.
doesn't even like the errors. He likes
No,
he likes
modern,
the money. It's if it's not worth money, he doesn't care.
yeah, I'm sorry. Modern stuff just doesn't do it for me. So yes, I did eat a whole bunch of tacos in a hurry one time, and I have ridden a camel, but I hate modern coins. I'm
No,
sorry.
Was that 30? Was that real? 30 tacos?
30 tacos in 15 minutes. Yeah, my name was up on a wall and
So
a plaque
jealous.
bar.
Did you
for a
Did you
long
get the tacos for free for eating them that fast?
Yep.
Good
Yep.
question.
Taco Bell size hard tacos. And I'll
Nice.
never do it again. It was horrendous. It hurt so bad.
Tear your mouth up.
It's a lot,
It was
lot
bad.
easier going down than coming up
It didn't come up
or
luckily.
coming
but
out.
I felt
Pineapples.
like I had a baby in me.
Pineapples.
So
And last but not least, now Paula, share us your answers. We'll guess. And
Okay, so I said I have 6 grandchildren. I was a medic in the Air Force, or I ate a live spider on a dare.
see, I'm going with she's lying about how many grandkids she has.
oh, she eats spiders. I know she
Oh,
eats.
I guarantee you she's eating a spider on a dare. And
These
and
are
she was a
fun.
medic in the Air Force. So
When she was training to be PSYOP, she was in the jungles. I'd eat snakes and spiders and stuff. Yeah.
oh, that was grubs. That was different.
Yeah, I'll go with grandkids also.
So
I don't
I
think the
have
branch is
6
right.
grandchildren.
Oh,
It is the
I
spider.
was a medic in the Air Force, and
Oh,
I've
it's the
never
spider.
eaten a spider, and I would never do
I
that.
beg for a better time than that.
so I guess Paula's not quite as much of a badass as I thought she was. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
next week.
Do you know on average we all eat spiders? We just don't know
Yeah.
if they crawl in
For
your
the right price, I would do it.
Well, you
Sure.
said it
Oh,
was for
my
a dare.
There's a lot of stuff I would do for not a lot of money, but
Now, see, I made this mistake with the first time I saw Paula, the first time I met her when we were
Mhm.
guests on her show, and in the background of her thing, you see PDS,
Yeah.
and it's not Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Although I think that would be really cool.
Hmm.
Well,
It could be. It
It's
could
whatever
be.
you want it to be.
Planchet dice strike.
Yes, there you go.
So, well, that was fun, Mike. That was a good way to say hi to everybody.
I think that would be a way for us to get to know each other just a little bit.
949 Design says, got them all. You're bad liars. That's a good thing, by the way.
Yes.
There you go. Thank you very much. We pride ourselves on being terrible liars.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you were able to determine that.
Well, I mean, at the right time, we are all great liars. Yes, this coin's fantastic. Go ask this other dealer. He will tell you it's better than it is.
Oh, yes. Harlan Burke is the place to go for all of your micro errors.
Wait.
I wish I had that.
You don't
skill.
want to start that war with me.
Yeah, that plated penny is 1943 plated penny is definitely fully copper. Go see
Oh,
Mike.
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, coin dealers do that to each other.
Yes,
If you
they do.
have, yeah, we are
Mhm.
always said there are people we don't want to deal with. Other
No,
coin
what
dealers.
Matt and Mike do now is they go send that question to info@livecoinqa.com.
No,
There you go.
it's not what we do now. Well, it is.
But it
it
can
is-
be what we do now. I will tell you what, Paul, and this is truly a compliment. It's that you guys do a really wonderful job with errors and
Yes.
figuring out what is an error and what's not. It's something that I've just never had the wherewithal. I just never really liked it enough.
Not
to
for
do it.
everybody.
Yeah, it's just not for me. And Matt, doesn't really. He's more major varieties and stuff like that. Dirty tacos get bread.
Sorry, I just had to pull. I was
Listeners.
just scrolling through the chat. Sorry, I had to
You're
put
the
that up.
best listeners.
Oh,
Well, we have people on our panel that specialize in different things.
Sure,
I'm
but I
modern.
also like
I
your.
actually do lots of modern stuff. I'm the bane of Matt's existence.
Nice.
So do
Actually, I should be the best thing in Matt's existence because he could just point him to me if I'm at the
That's
same
true.
show.
that's true. I asked him before the show started how we were still friends, but then I realized that it's just because
he's fun to be around.
it's right, exactly. So
We all mesh.
that's right. So Paula, yeah, you guys do an awesome job over there. I really like what you guys do. It's
I
fun.
also like her axiom. If you have to ask, should my coin be graded?
The answer is no.
The answer is no. That's right.
Right.
I love
I do too. So I do see these awesome hats that 3 of our people tonight are wearing.
Yep, mine's sitting on
Are
the
they
back of my
available
couch.
for sale, Aaron?
Yes, they are on our website.
HJBLTD.com.
Yeah,
You
they
can
are.
own your very own The Ancient Coin Podcast with Aaron Burke.
I like
And,
his new
and I'll
name.
tell you what, if you put a nice little note in there, Aaron will sign it for you too.
Ooh. So why don't
Or
guys
you
talk
could just steal Russ Vegas.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Yes,
There you
you
go.
can steal Russ Vegas. That's correct.
So why don't you two talk about your show a little bit since we're here just kind of hanging out?
Yeah. So I'm an expert in ancient coins and ancient artifacts. So basically, Greek, Roman, Egyptian, Sumerian, Byzantine, and other subculture antiquities. That's where I started out when I came to work for my father, which we own Harlan Gibber Limited. And then I got into ancient coins about 20 years ago, but continued to do antiquities on top of that. And then Mike and I started a podcast called the Ancient Coin Podcast with moi about a year and a half ago, and we just finished our 40th episode. So we literally have over 40 hours worth of discussion on ancient coins, where
That's
I'm
great.
basically teaching Mike about ancient coins. It's been pretty well received, I think. And but the best part is we're giving back to the industry that's done so much for us.
It's been very well received, and the fact is that you may be able to fix stupid because he's teaching me about ancient coins. So
Well, I noticed here on our show that your pronunciation of all those crazy ancient names has improved dramatically, which is why when we do their coolest thing, I just let you do all the ancient ones because I'm fairly sure you're able to pronounce them much better than I would be. So,
well, I either that or I mispronounce them the same way that Aaron does.
well, there you go. But I trust that better than I trust my trying to pronounce them. So,
And I mispronounce all the time. So,
Yeah.
that's the way
So-
it is.
We have a lot of fun doing that. And I have actually learned an awful lot about ancient coins. It's actually finally starting to show.
heck yeah.
The nice thing about doing a podcast is you end up teaching yourself things or things that you forgot. You have to constantly review things, and things come up all the time. So you're constantly, creating more knowledge for yourself as you go along with everybody else. So, and that's great for the business. That's great for your knowledge of coinage. And so yeah, couldn't ask for a better situation.
Have you guys? And I know this is more of a technical question, but have you guys hit the wall yet, where you've like covered so much stuff that you're like, okay, what am I going to cover now? Because Mike and I ran into that.
We hit a wall after a while.
The one nice thing about ancient coins is there's 1,800 years of production. That there's a lot, and so and the other thing is you can always go back and review things from a different perspective as well. And the nice thing we also do in our show is we will review auctions that are coming up.
Right.
And so that's continually changing regardless. But yeah, sometimes I go to write the show and I'm like, what the hell? I'm going to do the educational section on this week.
I think that's everybody who has a show runs into that problem at some point. What am I going to talk about this week?
Like, I think Mike and I looked back one time and we did Susan B. Anthony dollars on 3 different episodes. We were
we
like,
did them
And two of them were back to
two
back, weren't they?
episodes, but they were like 3 episodes apart. It was really bad.
Right.
And it's like I need to do Susan B's, and it was kind of embarrassing.
And some people will comment like, why don't you ever talk about this? And I'll be like, we did. Go back.
Go backwards. Yeah.
So anyway.
But it's
Well,
cool. And then, so like on our podcast, Matt, we do news. which is evergreen, right? It gives
Right.
us, it's always changing, it's always developing, it's something new happening. With Aaron, it's the auction scene, and he's always talking about what's current in auctions and what to look for and what the newer auctions coming up are.
Yeah, and like this past week, this week we did one, and because things just present themselves in the auctions. Like there was a coin which I believed was fake, and so I was able to show people why it was fake, and then show them what I thought was a real coin. And so I would have never thought about that if it hadn't presented itself.
Well, and the other cool thing about that is like when we do our news coverage of auctions, it's like the majors here in the States, but with ancients, how many? I mean, there's probably dozens and dozens of auction houses throughout Europe, United States, all over the place that have sales of this material. So you have a lot more girthy selection to pick from as far as the auctions go.
There's been so many new auction houses that has spurted up all over Europe that are just running a lot of garbage, but there's a lot of e-sales. And so, and the other thing is we have our auction season like the U.S. world does. So we have ours in the spring, the fall, and then in January at the New York International. So we have definitely some key moments, but there's always an auction going on, as we all know, any time of the year.
And especially in the ancient world, a lot of those auctions are in Europe. So Aaron is constantly talking about the Kunker auctions and the Loy auctions and all these.
Right.
All these years.
Yeah, I mean,
that sounds like homework you might need to do, Matt. Mike, run over to Europe and learn from their auctions. Do it as a business trip.
No. He gets up really early in the morning or stays up really late at night to bid on things. That's all.
So is there like a specific like demographic that collect those types of coins? Because I don't see a lot of it. Like we don't get a lot of questions to our email, and I don't see a lot of it like on YouTube and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering if is it an older?
No, not it used to be, but I would say it's actually more usually highly educated, sometimes, not always, but there's a lot of engineers that do it. I see a lot of very wealthy engineers that have gotten into it because the way that their brains are wired, and you can collect so many different ancients, and there's so many varieties, it never ends. And there's so many ancients that, even my father who's been doing this for 60 years will say, there's something I haven't seen in 60 years. So in US coins, you guys know everything for the most part. Every variety for the most part has been discovered. In ancient coins, there's new discoveries constantly. And so it's really like the wild, wild west, sort of.
The other thing that I'll say that I think is different is that it seems to me that ancient coin people and modern coin people are just, they can overlap, but for the most part are like completely separate communities. There's a really, really good forum out there called Coin Talk, and it has both an ancient coins forum and a US coins forum, and there's plenty of activity on both of them, but very little interaction between the forums. And so I think that that's really more what it is that some people that like ancient coins, they like ancient coins, and the rules with ancients are different. The way you handle them is different, the way you grade them is different, the things that you can do to them is completely different versus a modern US coin, where you have to handle it with gloves, and you have to be really careful about all this stuff. It's like most ancient coins came out of the ground, and they've almost all been cleaned at this point. So to take a little pick to it and pick at some of the crud that's on it, perfectly acceptable. And that's really
true.
what it is. Different.
There are a lot of people who collect, who started out collecting US coins and then moved into ancients. So there is definitely that transformation.
And I think a lot of that comes from people that do US coins. They get tired of it. They're like, okay, I know all this stuff. I need a challenge. Let's jump into this too.
I think that's what causes a lot of them to move to errors and varieties too. They start off with just basic, and then so I think it's a progression, and some people just find their niche in a certain area, and that's where they stay.
And that's really something I see with sample slabs and different, older generations, the rattlers, the doilies, the fatties, that kind of stuff. a lot of collectors that I deal with, they tell me, look, I started in US, I started in world, and it just got boring. And, samples, rare holders, that's something new that people haven't really gotten into that much. So it's kind of the same thing with ancients.
Yeah.
Yeah, where do you think all the designs came from for all the modern coins, for all
Yeah.
the US
I will
coins
tell you
and
what,
world
if you
coins?
ever want to know, just talk to Harlan for a couple of minutes because he will tell you all about that St. Gaudens and how the Liberty on the front actually comes from Roman sculpture rather
It's
than
actually a Greek sculpture that's actually
sorry.
it's actually in the Louvre. And it's from about the 5th century BC. And yeah,
See, I think Justin's got a point then. I need to do a little bit more homework. Maybe you need to send me over.
In Europe for
Oh.
sure.
Homework.
Yeah.
Always.
You could take the wife along as a tag along. She just keeps
No,
you
no,
fed and in line.
I'll go along as security.
Yeah, Mike, when you go, take me with you.
I'll
And
run
then
I don't
well,
have
Aaron's got to go. He's got a bike around to keep you guys in line.
Yeah.
a passport.
Oh, that's right. We forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really glad that when Mike first told me about you guys doing the show, I was like, yeah, that's gonna work because nobody was doing it. Nobody
No.
was doing anything like that. So,
no.
and another show that nobody is doing anything like is Justin's show. And I wanted to transition to that. Justin, why don't you tell us a little bit about your show?
So my show is the Learn and Deal Coins and Currency podcast. It's basically talks about modern coinage and the way to get in to be a dealer more easily, and then dealing with life at the same time. So we all have different struggles. I tend to talk about my PTSD and things that go with it because my way of doing things is different than yours, but there's a lot of knowledge to overlap.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's awesome. I love that. And actually, we helped. I think didn't we put out your very first show on our
Yes, that is correct. It's in the Patreon.
That's right.
Archive.
I think it actually shows up in the regular show archive too. if
Does
I
it now? Okay.
Correctly.
Yeah. So
Means
awesome.
that if that is the case, then it's in the Newman Numismatic Portal.
Ooh, forever. Now, how many episodes have you put out now?
I have never counted.
Wow.
I like that.
I don't
That's
have
cool.
episode numbers. It's just whatever I'm talking about that week is the title. So,
Okay, so if you had to give me a feel, how many episodes do you feel like you put out?
oh god, it's got to be close to 200 at this point because I do
Oh.
it weekly.
Roni. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And there's
awesome.
some weeks where I just do 2,
Just because.
just because I don't. If there's something random to
But there's
talk about,
never
I'll
a
just talk
week
about
that
it.
you don't do any.
That's awesome.
It's fairly there's a month generally between December and January that I take off.
Okay.
Generally because it's the dark of the winter and I have the hardest time during that time. And
Yeah.
sometimes when you have a hard time, just not doing all of your normal stuff helps.
Yeah, not doing a podcast for sure. That's it's like
It's also a slow time of year for the podcast.
Well, that's great. And then over here in the far corner, we have the Slab Daddy himself. Now, Slab Daddy, tell us a little bit about what is a sample slab, because some people that are watching this have no idea what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all, I guess I assume we all know what slabs are.
Sure.
For people that don't, they're the little plastic things that we throw our coins in and seal them up and never get to touch them like we touch ancient coins.
Coffin.
Also
So,
known as a
you know-
certified coin.
Aaron just called it a
So-
coffin.
So we all know what the slabs are, the coffins, and you take that and you cross it, with the free sample that you get at Costco. And there you go. So it's basically, anything from, all kinds of coins from cents to dimes to Morgan dollars, anything and everything goes in. The thing that differentiates it, though, from any other regular, just, cheap production slab is it'll say sample on the label, or it'll be, be pedigreed to a PCGS lunch or the coin show or, Harlan Burke for their world department.
The Youth Trivia Challenge, I think, also puts
Yep,
them out.
that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
They're cheap, they're fun.
and you take grading 2 with Steve Feltner, who happens to be the head of education for PCGS. You magically end up with these nice PCGS sample slabs that he makes like 30 to 50 of it. That's it.
Now,
They are
Yeah,
not
and that's the
always
cool-
cheap.
And
They're
that's
not
the cool
always-
thing because they're cheap. They're cheap, but they're also extremely hard to find. And if you want the thrill of the hunt, that, you know, a lot of people start collecting coins out of their pocket change. If you want the thrill of the hunt, but you've gotten tired of album filling, sample slabs. I mean, I've got a couple on my desk that are, you know, one of 5 or one of 10 made, or, you know, you take grading 2 and it's one of 30 or 40. So they're extremely rare at times, but they're also dirt cheap.
If somebody
And there are
wanted to
sometimes
learn,
dealers don't know what they have, and that sample slab can be $300 or $400, and they're like, $10. I just don't want to deal with it.
Oh yeah, I dealt with that at Winter Fun. I had a deal of 80 of them walk across the table.
oh my. So, question: if somebody wanted to learn about sample slabs and different rarities of sample slabs, is that the thing that exists? Like, is there a reference for that?
There is. So a good friend of mine, he's in Friends of the Coin Show, David Schwager. He wrote a book. It's called Sample Slabs. I don't think I have it.
I think
Oh,
Paula
here it
just
is.
grabbed her copy, is what
I have
just
a
happened.
Yes.
I have a
Yeah.
copy of
So-
that as well.
I have a copy of
Nice.
it as well.
Yeah, a lot of us have it. Sample Slabs. David is working on the 3rd edition. I have a pre-release copy here of the 3rd edition.
Is it a
second
sample
edition-
copy?
This is the second.
Yes, it is.
That's very
And you
good.
know, it's funny because I had gotten David had originally, a couple years ago, he was thinking about doing a 3rd printing, because every time he does a printing of these, he sells out of the paper editions. And he thought about doing a 3rd edition, so he made a prototype copy of the 2nd edition 3rd printing. I bought it off of him, and then they never did a 3rd printing. So it's kind of like the canceled NGC slabs from the Fun Show that, you know, got canceled from COVID.
Right.
So I've got that, and then I've got the 3rd edition pre-release prototype as well. Yeah,
So you should have
David-
NGC slab them, since they slab
I
everything.
should.
Yep. Wow.
I'll talk to Paul about that.
That's all.
But yeah,
You are-
so David is releasing the 3rd edition. I think later this year there will be a print run of those, so that'll be out. I mean, between David and I, we'll make sure it gets on all the Facebook groups. We put out a sample slab newsletter I would say every 2 to 3 months.
So quarterly, okay. I
Yep.
like
So, yeah, quarterly or so we put out that. I
What's
put
it
up a lot of information on Facebook about the different things.
What's that
Usually
newsletter?
followed up with it. Go ahead.
What's that newsletter called? And how does somebody, if they're so interested?
So it's literally just called the Sample Slab Newsletter. You can get on the mailing list by texting David. He's on it through Facebook Messenger, or you can email him. I want to say his email. is
Don't give it out on
David
the
Sh- Yeah,
So just find them on Facebook.
yeah, just text him on Facebook, and
There you go. Cool. Well, thank you. And you guys are all awesome for being here tonight and hanging out with us.
Now I want to ask something to the crowd.
Okay.
So the last couple of times that we've done our hangouts, we've done 3 of them recently. One where we had a bunch of special guests, one where we didn't have any special guests, and now we have special guests again. I want to know what your guys' opinion on it is. Do you like these better? Do you want us to do more of these? Do you want us to do a coolest thing on this? What would you guys like to see in these hangouts? Because it's so much of a free forum. We can do anything we want here.
Well, you know what? I spent part of today, and so did you, playing with something awesome that is going to, and you guys, this is like a Coin Show exclusive thing, but you guys, we're going to start having interactive quizzes and giving out prizes to the winners of these quizzes. It'll be kind of like coin trivia, and it will be live right here during our hangouts. And you guys are going to be able to compete against each other for awesome prizes for what we come up with for our quizzes. And we put the quiz master Barry Swan on it already. Barry comes
Barry's
up
really good at that stuff.
He's super good at it, and he has come up with some really tough quizzes for Mike and I over the years. So it'll be fun. All you'll have to do is with the device, we'll have a QR code. You scan it, bang, you're there. You're there. You'll enter your name, and then you'll be ready to rock. And then we can do it, and you guys can win awesome prizes. We're gonna have some fun prizes for you guys. So yeah.
KC Coin Guy. It was rude to say no guests, but guests sitting.
I know, Mike. Why'd you?
Oh, I'm asking people what they want, though. I mean, it's like,
I won't
do
be
you want
offended.
more guests? Do you want random guests? Do you want, just me and Matt? Do you-
It's like the 4 guests sitting there can read the chat too, and they're just like, Mike, why did you? Why, Mike? Why did you say that?
I'm just soliciting opinions. Sorry.
Yes.
Well,
Oh
we
yeah.
know Mike is a people person.
Yes.
Pleaser.
Leftover hot sauce is a prize. Yes, totally. But I'm thinking like maybe some coin type stuff. Maybe we'll dip into the coffers a little bit.
I will tell you, there's not much of that hot sauce left.
Find some fun prizes. So it's gonna be fun.
No, Matt, I think we should make some sample slabs for one of these quizzes.
I have sample slabs, friend.
Amazing.
I'm still waiting on my coin show sample slab. I know they exist.
I have it, and next time I see you, I'm gonna give it to you.
All right, perfect.
And they've been passed back and forth a couple of times. We have an international visitor in the chat.
They're literally right over my shoulder back here, underneath a couple boxes. So
Yeah,
I know where
it's all good, man. I'm just ribbing you.
By the way, I had some hot sauce tonight.
the stuff's good, isn't it?
Spicy
It's
Mike?
very good. Yeah, I did. I'm almost out.
Yeah, me too.
It's okay.
Mike, when I got the sauce from you, I think I texted you that I wanted it by the gallon. It's that good.
I like that stuff. I really do.
I love that
What we
stuff.
have to do is we have to come out with a Matt's sweet sauce.
Matt's Sweet Heat.
Yeah, Matt's sweet heat. And
Mm-hmm.
then what we'll do is we'll have people compare them and see which one they like better.
We should have had them come out at the same time then if we were going to do that, Mike, not a year later.
I still think it needs to be put on your website as a special order.
It's
As
also
a donation
something
to the show.
it's also something I've been thinking about here lately, on things to work on. So I've
Hey,
Matt has
look,
Okay.
it's like having it made is very possible. It's only money. I mean, it truly is. It's not hard. We have
It's
a company
only
that
money.
makes it. They make a phenomenal hot sauce.
It is really good.
It is. It's serrano
Yeah.
pepper and maple syrup.
Well,
Really
you see, now that you've said that, I will get it put on the website where people can go and order it. Give me a few days. I'll get it
Okay.
up. I actually, most
I'll
of you
get a
guys
hold
know,
of it, though.
I have been home with COVID all week. I still have it. My
Oh.
whole
I'm
family has it
surprised
right
that
now.
Matt was here tonight. So let's all give
sucks.
a big round of applause.
No.
for
But
the
Yay!
I was actually saying that
George work.
I feel fine, but I just got COVID. So, but I was saying that because I've had a lot of time to think and work on stuff that I don't normally have time to work on this week. So it's been a blessing and a curse at the same time because my entire family has it now too. Wah, wah. So
Well, isn't that
Uh,
how you got it this time?
no, somebody at work got it first and then gave it to the rest of us.
That's
They-
love.
No, I mean they didn't feel sick though. That's the thing. It's
No.
one of those like I don't feel
Well,
bad
it
at all.
was like, look, Jamie came home from New York and gave everybody in my house COVID.
Yeah,
And
I
Jamie
feel
never got sick.
I feel just fine. Like
Yeah,
Well,
we're
it's the
good.
nature. It's the nature of a virus to actually get weaker over time to keep its length going.
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
one
I
of
knew
our
that.
guys that works for us is like really sick, not like deathly sick, but he's sick. He's been down for a whole week in bed. So it's just crazy. But anyways, not to be a Debbie Downer, I'm sorry for that, but
Well, it was
Well-
better than beating up on me, which was what you were doing before that. So
yeah, but no, I will get the hot sauce put up on the website here in the next day or two. If you guys want access to it, we'll get it up there, and you guys can buy your own Spicy Mike's hot sauce, and I'll ship it out. I've got to figure out how many bottles I have left.
I know how many bottles you have left.
I have quite a few.
Yeah, I know.
So
You have a couple.
You
of kids.
hoarder.
No,
Well-
no, actually, he's a smart guy. Because I have some put away too. It's like I got kids that keep on going, Dad, the bottles. It's like
yeah.
I just
So if you guys want to get yourself some Spicy Mike's hot sauce, after hearing all these people say how amazing it is, I don't know why you wouldn't, but just keep an eye on the website. I will get that done. I'll probably post something on the socials about it, maybe even a link to go buy it yourself.
yeah. And then at some point we will have to do a Mad Sweetie.
Definitely.
Talk to Gid.
Well, let's check in with the chat. I mean, guys, we have all of these awesome guests with us tonight. If there's anything you guys want to ask any of these guests, go ahead and just fire it off in the chat. We will get their opinion. You can ask them anything. Well, almost anything. Mike wanted to do
Oh, you
that.
can ask me anything.
Well, no, it was just ask us. So it's just ask us. If you got something to ask us.
Fire away. So
All we can do is say none of your business. I also wanted to play a little game of coin conspiracy theories, but I don't know if everybody's game for that. We'll have to see what goes on with that.
what is coin conspiracy theories? I'm
Well,
confused.
it's called throw it against the wall. So you give your like wildest coin conspiracy theory, and then we throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. We tell you what we think about it and whether or not it's plausible.
I have one.
Oh, cool. All right.
I have a great discussion, and you guys are just the perfect ones to talk to about it.
Oh, we're in trouble
Yeah.
now.
Original mint sealed proof sets pre 64.
Yes. What would you like to know?
I would like to know if they exist.
They do not. What
Thank
I was
you.
originally
Well,
told, what I
wait.
was told by an expert in the field, his name escapes me at the moment because Paul Allen, because he deals with a lot of these sets. What ends up happening is you'll put them in your closet or you'll end up putting them in a drawer, and the humidity makes the gum stick to the paper,
Right.
and then you can't open them anymore because then they become, quote, sealed.
What it
So they
Right.
were not sealed to begin with.
no, what it
They
really
would go in an
comes down
envelope
is
to go
how
in an
you
envelope.
Fine sealed. Right.
So here's what I have been told. So a few years ago I started doing a study on this because I noticed that people were paying exorbitant amounts
Yes,
of
they
money
do.
Yes.
for advertised original sealed, So
And they
I
still get
started-
a premium for it.
and I was getting sets that were like opened at the top, or that the glue were that they were open, but the glue was still intact, like they had never been sealed. So I'm like, what's the deal? So I started talking to a lot of dealers and a lot of older collectors who had bought them, were in like packs of 5, and had also bought them individually. When they bought them individually, obviously they sealed those,
Yes. Because
and their addresses were on the envelopes.
That's correct.
But when they
Okay.
bought them as multiples in the boxes, they were not sealed unless they had stored them somewhere and the moisture had gotten into them and sealed them as in the boxes.
Okay, that
So-
would make sense.
That is absolutely correct.
So the reason I wanted to ask people if what they thought, and people who had experience who sold them possibly, is because my problem obviously is people paying extra for them as sealed sets. I have seen people buy them and open them, and there was nothing but washers inside.
You ever bought a lottery ticket, Paula?
Right? Why would you
Pretty
want to
much what
buy
it is.
something you haven't seen?
Well, that's
Oh.
what these sealed sets are, especially on years like 1964 and 1961.
Cameos.
Well, like 64, you have the accented hair. 61, you have the double die reverse half. That is kind of the dates that I think, okay, I can see why being sealed, those would bring a premium because
Okay.
Varieties were undiscovered at the time that these became sealed.
right,
Or the
right.
ones that they're looking for cameos
certainly.
on on the Franklins especially. But
That's why they get a premium. But yes, I understand your point, and it's a very good point that they.
Well, the fact of the matter is, she's right. It's like if they were sent individually, then they were sealed, but you'll have an address on the envelope.
right.
And if they were sent in any combination packaging of every box you've ever seen of them that got sent, they're all unopened. And it's because, that's the way that they did them and that they shipped them.
Yeah, I just couldn't see somebody, in the distribution center going, okay,
No, but there's two other things that I think are important to
packaging
this.
them up.
Randy Sticky Tongue down from.
Okay, here we go.
No, there's two other things that I think are important to that though, and that's that. First off, is that it's important to know that if the variety wasn't known at the time that they were released, chances are that you might be able to find something that nobody has seen before. But more importantly, and this is what Paula was just speaking about with the washers. Okay,
Yeah.
it's really easy to open an envelope like that and reseal it.
And if you go on eBay, you can find those envelopes, like remakes or whatever they call them, of just the envelope.
the reprocessed or the
Yeah,
they
of just the
sell,
envelope.
imitation. They're
Yeah.
remade envelopes to to look like the originals. And they're pretty good copies, but if you know your stuff, it's generally pretty easy to tell.
Thank you for indulging me on that, because I frequently get in kind of little arguments with people who say, "Hey, I collected them and they were sealed," and I don't know what to believe.
Like I
So,
said, it
I
really
think
comes
many of
down to
them-
how you define sealed. I really
Yeah.
do.
I think many of them that are sealed currently were due to moisture.
Right.
And the original, if somebody bought one, they've generally opened it to make sure the coins were okay.
Right.
yeah.
I don't know anybody who buys a proof set and then just puts it away.
Oh, there's people that put cases of them away, my friend.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's different.
We've bought collections where people haven't even opened the mailboxes that they
Yeah.
came in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
So-
got a bunch of those
That's
behind me.
looking through 200 sets. I'm talking about somebody orders one set.
Right.
Right.
They're going to look at it.
So let me check in with the chat here real quick. I see a few questions. I'm going to rattle through them real quick here. Joe Bohannon says, have you guys ever seen that chocolate scented scratch and sniff silver coin from the Cook Islands? A consignor had one in his collection. No, Joe, I have not, but I now want one.
I've heard rumors of it, but I've never seen one before.
I want to scratch and sniff chocolate
Oh,
coin.
I look for things like this because it's kind of what I specialize in, but no, I do
Specialized
modern coins.
scratch and
So I
sniff?
look for the things that are the one thing I forgot to mention about my show is that I do enhancing your collection, which is you find a coin that's more valuable than it is. So if you go like a 1917 type 1 quarter versus type 2, right? So I look for the things that are weird in the world that you can buy from, say, Cameroon, and people look for it but don't know about it, or don't look for it because they don't know about it, and they draw extra money and add to their collection. So I
Huh.
look for things like that.
Interesting.
I would definitely buy one of those if those are
I would
a
too.
real thing.
I'm in.
Mhm.
I'm in. Let's order a bunch.
What
James-
does it smell like? That's what I want to know.
Chocolate.
Okay.
It smells like your hair, Mike.
Let's hope so.
Gosh.
How do you know what my hair smells like?
I thought it was
Your wife told me.
James M asked a question, which I assume is for Slab Daddy. It's what is the best VAM you have personally found in the wild?
Ooh. Now, in the wild, are we talking cherry picking on eBay, or are we talking just looking through junk bins and a dealer's, because that's two different
A
answers.
slab
That's
that said VAM on it.
Yeah. It was not identified as a VAM, and you found it.
That's in the wild.
Well, right. So I guess I have two answers for that.
Well, you can
Over
only
COVID, going through VAM World, I also got my introduction to dealing. This is kind of an aside. I got my introduction to dealing as selling on eBay, buying and selling through eBay. And I had cherry picked. I want to say it was a Scarface. It might have been a Hot Lips, but I'm pretty sure it was a Scarface in mid VF that I had found on eBay. Cherry picked it. Had no idea what it was actually worth at the time. I'm looking at Red Book values and everything. I hadn't been introduced to Gray Sheet or anything, and I sold it for definitely not enough money on eBay.
Oh, that's the worst. I hate that feeling.
but you still
But
made a
I've
profit on
found,
it.
oh yeah.
Then
The
that's what matters.
the coolest ones that I've cherry picked though are all of the micro O's, not the 1899 O, all of the other micro O's that are actually contemporary counterfeits.
Yep. Those are fun. I
I
like
cherry
those.
pick a lot of those out of dealers' junk bins. I mean, over the years I probably could put together rolls of them.
I like
I
buying them in
kept them all.
slabs.
And just so
Oh,
you guys
that's fun
know-
too.
Yes.
And just so you guys know, we are now live on 3 continents.
3 continents. I love it.
We have Dan from Australia.
Good day,
Taffy
mate.
Coates is here from UK.
I love it.
Okay.
Speaking of Taffy, he had a question which I kind of like. It says, "What is your opinion on the new UK coins with sausage fingers on them?" Oh, I'm sorry. I mean King Charles.
Look, Taffy,
I have.
make up your mind about whether you're going to call him Big Ears or Sausage Fingers.
Well, it's
have-
sausage fingers with big ears.
He does have sausage.
I have a very hot take on this coin, and Mike, since you're a modern guy, you were going to hate me on this.
Which coin?
But-
But different portraits. We have the new Canadian Maple Leafs. They have a different portrait than the Britannias. The Britannia actually looks okay. The
It does.
Maple Leaf looks horrible.
Well, the Royal Mint
I-
actually also had about a year and a half lead on producing their coin versus the Royal Canadian Mint.
Well, no, and this is the one, and the Britannia is the one that I'm going to make the comment about.
Okay.
Specifically, the Britannia.
All right.
I compared that coin when it first came out, and I saw the image, and I still to this day I will die on this hill. I compare it to that Special Olympics commemorative silver dollar one.
Eunice Kennedy Shriver.
Yes, yes. That's how I compare it.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. Let's see here. Let me just kind of.
I do enjoy the memes about him though, where they turn the coin sideways and the ears standing off of the coin.
Oh,
Yes.
I know. It's so funny. Let's see here. Let's try this one. Mike McClanahan says, "Crystal ball time. What's the next U.S. coin denomination to receive a redesign, obverse, reverse, and or be discontinued?"
Kennedy,
All
because
of
they're
them.
doing it next year.
All of them in
That's
2026.
All of them. Yeah, all of them. We have
2026,
Kennedy.
yeah. Except for the dollars.
Well, so they're going to finally get
They
rid
do
of.
that every year too.
Yeah.
They
On
change the
the- yeah.
reverse on them every year for the
Reverse
native
on them.
dollars and the innovation dollars.
So they are going to change all the coins for the semi-quincentennial.
All the circulating coinage is going to have
Yes.
obverse and reverse change. Yeah.
And the Celebrating Women on
Except for the
Quarter
dollar.
program will end.
Yeah. But then we have the Boy Scouts, I think, or
Greatest Generation coming?
I think
Yeah.
I thought it was like organizations that were greater. So I
It's
don't know.
organizations.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. After,
Look,
yeah.
I really had a hard time with the innovation dollars because I thought that was going to be an all-time dumb idea. And it's okay. They're working.
There's
their
actually a
way through
decent
it.
collector base for those.
Yes. But I'm not so sure about organizations for quarters. It's getting
No.
too emotional.
Well,
I'm ready for us just to go back to one standard design where the only thing they change is one digit in the year.
That's
wait.
not
So you're telling me that you like your mint sets with like 5 or 6 coins in them and not 20? Is that what you're telling me?
okay. So let me throw this one at you.
They're
While
just
we're at
cards now, anyway. They're just cards.
it,
Terrible.
because the reason that the mint makes so many different programs of coins is because
They
the
can.
seniorage. No, the seniorage. It's like, they make 5 different quarters a year, and they make about 5 times as many quarters as they used to make. So, you're getting that profit times 4 because of the quarter program, times 3 because of the innovation dollar program. They're
Right.
not going to stop doing that. They're going to make more coins have multiple reverses every year.
I think that we're going to end up like the commemorative series where they had to limit it to 2 per year. Remember in the 90s where they'd like have 20 commemoratives per year and people couldn't even keep up?
1992 was a heck of a year.
I know you're still reliving the nightmares at night, right, Matt?
I know. Real quick, what is the name of your podcast? Somebody asked the full name so they can go look it up.
For me, it's Learning to Deal Coins and Currency,
There you go.
and it's on most podcast apps that you can think of, including Apple, the Apple Store,
Apple
and
podcasts.
there you go.
So here you go. Let me kind of, maybe we can kind of sort of wrap this with this one question here, which I think, or comment, which I think is really interesting. Ringmaster Ray says, my coin shop bought a huge collection of coins in the wooden boxes. Some not even opened. Tens of thousands of coins this person spent and only got a fraction of what they paid for them. And I hate, I see this all the time, Mike. I know you see this all the time. It is one of the things that makes me the most upset when I see somebody coming in the door with giant boxes. Now, sometimes giant boxes of coins are great. Like that, they're the best. There's awesome stuff that comes in giant boxes. But when they start pulling out those cherrywood boxes that have gold-plated state quarters in them and hologram Jefferson nickels and Donald Trump pictured Kennedy $50 and
Protect your elderly relatives.
I think I get the most frustrated when they walk in with a giant crate of the coins from TV and they
Yeah.
just set them down and you start digging through them. And I've had people go, but I paid $1,000 for this. And you look at it and you go, all right, here's eBay. This is the sold list on eBay. This is what they sell for.
the worst feeling
Soon
in
to be Churchill crowns.
the worst the worst feeling in the world is when you open something, a box like that, in front of someone. You look at it and you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, but you can just go ahead and spend these." And the
Oh
face
yeah.
they give you is just absolutely the worst.
It's
But
soul
they're
crushing.
gold plated. They
Yeah.
have
Soul
platinum
crushing.
plating.
To have to let somebody down from that, and then they get abusive about it afterwards, which is
Well, I can
that's the best part.
I can tell you back before the internet. So this is probably early '90s. People used to come in with their grandparents' collections, and they would buy them from telemarketers that would call them, and they'd be the same thing. It'd be like diamonds, it'd be some U.S. coins, and then there'd be some ancient coins, and there'd be some antiquities, and they were nicely mounted, and they'd pay like $50,000 for everything, and the stuff would be worth like maybe $3,000 if you were lucky.
Yeah.
And it's just complete garbage. And as soon as I saw them pull it out and I saw the same paperwork and the same, like they would do stands for oil lamps, and the oil lamps back then would cost, you could buy them wholesale for about $3, and we'd retail them for $20 to $30, and they'd sell a set of like 8 on a blue side stand for $1,200.
That's insane.
But
It
that's
is
the
okay, by the way, to tell your grandparents not to take the phone call or make the phone call to buy that stuff,
Yeah.
Watch
because they didn't
them.
listen to us because we're family. But
Well, it's
you know,
elder abuse is what it is.
yeah. Oh no,
Yeah.
absolutely. My grandmother called me and said, "Hey, Littleton just contacted me. They're asking me to pay $1,200 for this stuff. I think it'd be a great present for you." And I said, "Grandma, I can buy all of that stuff right now if you just want to hand me the money for about $50."
Mm-hmm.
But I also have access to other dealers too to get the stuff.
Right.
I was happy she called more than anything.
There you go. Talk to
Yeah.
Graham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you know people that you think might fall for something like that, even if it's the best intended thing, talk to them. Talk to them about this stuff and let them know. Say, hey, if you ever have a question about this stuff, or I do this a lot in the office. I say, if you see an ad for something that you might want to order, cut it out, bring it into me, and let's see what we can do. Let's see what I can get you the same thing for. And a lot of the times
Absolutely.
that helps. That helps.
It also builds a rapport with the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right,
Which
and it just shows
educates
them,
at the same
that
time, which
hey,
is better.
this guy can get me one for $40, but these people are charging $500. So,
And 99% of the time, it's not, their promotion is not where coin collectors are.
right,
They
Right.
put them in places where coin collectors don't live.
Right.
And so they're trying to get suckers.
Yeah, that's why they run it a lot late at night. You know,
or
3
like
o'clock
an
in the morning,
AA
CSN.
AARP magazine.
yes, yeah, same
You
thing.
know, like,
So, yeah, it's horrible what they do. I don't know if you have this in Indy, but I know that we have a really bad problem with it in Chicago. That there is this, it's a vinyl coin
Yeah.
book, and it has 6
Little
coins
one.
on a page, and they're all in 2x2s, and they're mostly foreign, and they're all marked, with all these big numbers on them and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
this
$2,000-$3,000.
yeah, and this guy tells this sob story out on the street of how he's got whatever's going on,
that's a
and
good one.
he's selling it, and it's like people they pull out the book, and we start burying our heads because we
Yeah.
got like 12 of them in a drawer behind us.
Like the gas station gold necklaces. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, sometimes what they would do is they would actually stand out in front of our store or off, a couple of blocks away and say, they won't buy these from me because I don't have my ID on me. And so
Oh,
if I
that's
sell them
dirty.
to you,
oh,
and you can go and do it because they'll only buy it if I have my ID and I don't have my
that's
ID.
brutal.
That's super dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, Mike, can I get one of those from behind the desk?
One of which?
Are you talking
One
about
of
the
those
book, man?
booklets.
We use them to teach.
Oh no, he's gonna go stand out front.
Oh, one of those booklets. Yeah, no, he is going to stand out front. Oh, maybe let me see what I can do for you.
Well, friend, I love you all. Thank you, but I am starting to run out of batteries.
And I really appreciate everybody for showing up. This has been really great.
You guys
Well, we
are
all had fun, I think.
yeah. This
I
was
think
great.
so.
For having me. It's
No
fun.
problem at all.
Oh,
You guys,
Always good.
So again, Mike, you want to rattle off everybody real quick and where you can find them, get a hold of them, and then we'll call her a night.
Sure, absolutely. So let's start with, you can find Paula Bloom at Live Coin Q&A. That's info@livecoinqa.com. If you have a question about varieties or any U.S. coin for that matter, Live Coin Q&A, that's where you take it.
Micro errors.
Aaron Burke, the author and host of the Ancient Coin podcast with Aaron Burke. Justin Urban, the Learning to Deal podcast. Thanks for joining us tonight, Justin.
Absolutely.
Slab Daddy. Always appreciate having you. We'll see if we can get you some counterfeit coins.
Oh,
And we'll see in CSNS a couple of months as well.
Oh yeah.
We will all be at CSNS. That's right. We'll be at
For
Central.
the first time, we'll have all of the Coin Show guys
all of
at
the
once.
Coin Show guys will be there. Aaron will be there. We're going to have a lot of fun at that show.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna have a good time. I am fully planning on doing a ton of content from that show together.
Yes.
So
I'm in. Let's do it.
it's gonna be good. You guys are awesome. Thank you again for hanging out with us tonight, you guys, and also you guys in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah,
You guys
thanks for hanging
rock.
out with us, and
Thanks
send me
for
your
everybody.
feedback. Tell me what you think and what you like and what you'd like to see us do more of.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and become a supporter.
There you go.
Hey, look at you. All right, everybody. Well, you guys rock. Good night. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.